Hello, folks, and welcome to the Quick Coaching Tip. I am Shawn Meredith, bringing you our weekly tip. Now, last week, I actually didn't do a tip. I was backpacking in Zion National Park, so I wasn't able to do a tip last week. Thought I could squeeze it in, but I was on a plane, and it didn't make sense. So we're back again this week, and I want to talk about a theme that's been coming up in coaching, as I always do. And this theme is embodied in a phrase I've been using a lot, that the brain needs to be shown and not told. The brain needs to be shown and not told. What I often find is that we really prioritize insight. We go to training, we read an article, we talk to a friend, and we get some insight, we get some perspective, or we get an aha moment around something. And we act as if that's enough. We just kind of move on and we go back to the old patterns. We go back to those old ways. And we don't get the change we're looking for. Also with other people, debating. We live in such a debate culture anymore. Everybody wants to they don't really want to debate. Everybody wants to declare to each other. They want to drive that insight into other people about their positions on things. And again, that insight alone doesn't do much, because our brains, although thinking is where we spend a lot of our time, our brains aren't thinking machines. Our brains do a lot of things on top of thinking, and often our behavior and the way we interact with situations and the way we engage situations is not coming out of the thinking part of the brain. It's coming out of different centers of the brain that are running these patterns. So that's why I say our brains, when we're looking at change, they need to be shown. They need to be shown different. They need to do different, both from the inside and the outside, to really get that change. Don't tell me I'm safe. Show me I'm safe. Don't tell me you trust me. Show me you trust me. Don't think that you're a leader. Be a leader. Exist in that space. So this is why in coaching, unlike training, where we're getting mostly insight and information, and there's a time and place for that. It's a precursor to change. In coaching, we're always ending on some kind of action, some kind of way of me being different in this world, some way of me showing up differently in my behavior, maybe, and not what I'm doing and what I'm doing. And we're showing our brain that it can live differently. We're showing it that it can do things differently. You're going to find that if you stay in that space of showing your brain and showing other people's brains, that you're really going to get a lot of movement. As a leader, I think about this when our teams are activated. Maybe there's a reorg or layoffs, and we always want to have that big speech. We stress over it. We got to write the perfect speech. We got to kind of have the perfect interaction. And really that space is the telling. And it's important. It needs to happen. But if you find that those tellings don't work, that you're constantly reassuring people, you're constantly having those speeches, you're constantly trying to let them know that things are okay, it's probably because you're not showing them, or they're not seeing it one way or other. So think about that phrase. How can you shift from insight, the telling of my brain or other brains, to the showing of brains? So that's the tip of the week. As always, please share, comment. Let me know if you have questions or other topics you want me to cover. Throw them in the comments here, and I will cover them. Or go into any of these topics more deeply. Thanks so much. See you next week.